So our ERP system is Acumatica, and although it has price list functionality, discounting functionality, and so forth, we have kind of created a tiered pricing structure internally that allows for or requires us to have a more complicated hierarchy and ability to customize things across whether it be a menu category or it be a SKU or it be a tiered spend or whatever these incentive programs are and ongoing price agreements. So it just Acumatica's core functionality didn't have a dynamic and robust enough workflow for those solutions, and with the help of Mark and the team at Rockton, we were able to use that platform to pretty much achieve any deviation and variation of pricing that we wanted to structure internally to optimize for our business at an efficient time entry way, because order intake and putting orders in was taking a very long time with manual process and absent of controls.
The biggest feature that they took advantage of was the ability to price multiple similar items that all shared the same price, usually by, for lack of a better word, an item class. So they have 20 products that have a different item number, different SKU, but they're all in the same group of products, and every single one of them is going to be, say, $9.95. And so instead of having to go in and create a price list for each item, there's like 20 in a batch of $9.95, they can just say these all share this item class, and the item class is $9.95. So they're pricing 5% of what they need to, which is just a dramatic reduction in the number of records that have to be managed.
Implementation was smooth. We had to do our homework on our side, which was largely collecting and formalizing all of our different pricing arrangements. But once we had that put together, learning to use the software was a pretty low lift on a learning curve perspective. Team was very helpful in kind of getting the data in there and up and running. On an ongoing support basis, that's kind of where the relationship stood out a little bit more. And when problems happen, which inevitably happen in any software platform, I found Mark and the team to be incredibly responsive and helpful. If there was one instance where we are having a pricing issue, and I believe Rockton was doing an offsite with their employees at the time, and they actually changed the agenda to look into and address the bug and address it during a retreat type event, which I really stood out as something special. And they've just been really great at responding to requests and issues that we've had and been a true partner.
Rockton's 4 core values are integrity, humility, passion to grow, and emotional intelligence. And the integrity is probably the most important to me. It's number one. And that is, we do what we say we're going to do. And we have sub rules to these types of, to this core value. And that is overpromise and underdeliver. We want to provide a great experience for customers and anybody that we run across. We want to provide excellent customer service, and we want to provide high quality products. But sometimes we mess up, and there is, because people are human and we're human too, and we make mistakes. And that's where humility comes in. And that's why it's number 2, is that if we fail to be in integrity, we're going to be right there saying, look, we messed up, we didn't meet a deadline, or something didn't perform right. What can we do to make it right? And we go out of our way to make it right. And I think that is the core thing that impresses people, is that, we're not afraid to say we've made mistakes, and we're there to pick up the phone and clean up the mess if a mess has been made. We don't make messes very often, but because we, provide a high quality stuff, but we do. It just is a factor of life. And it's interesting with Mammoth specifically, we actually ran into a really challenging technical problem that was quite significant. And while it was disappointing for Mammoth that, that something went wrong, they were absolutely blown out of the water that how we made it right. We went just over the extra mile to just go, fix the issue, address it, and then do some cleanup afterwards. And that was, I think, what really sealed their faith in us, that we're here for the long term. And, along with that, if we are available after hours, sometimes I check email or whatever, if somebody's it's a Saturday afternoon and they're doing an upgrade or something. If I feel like I can, text or email somebody, I'm not afraid to do that. We're not super rigid into those types of things. And then the passionate grow, we're always looking to expand what we know, how we interact with people, and just our overall knowledge. And that also ties to emotional intelligence. The emotional intelligence part of our team is making sure that we have the ability to be empathetic with our customers. Software can be so cut and dry, and it can be frustrating when you're on a support call if you're calling us, an ISV vendor like us, and you're like, I've got a problem. We care. We care that you got a problem. And oftentimes, if we can identify that you've got a problem and it's not our software, but we know how to fix it, we'll at least guide you down that path because we've been there before. And, picking up the phone, but having the emotional intelligence to say, I get that you're frustrated. Let me help you through that. And just meeting people where they're at, understanding that people are human and reaching that humanity, I think is really, really critical and something that our team demonstrates very, very well.
The two biggest positives we've gotten out of Rockton is one, a large time savings on order entry. We have a pretty sizable sales team, and the seconds add up. And we save a lot of time not having to kind of manually override prices. And then from a profitability perspective, we can sleep at night with a lot more confidence that our pricing is being controlled and consistently applied, as opposed to before, where there were some gaps in that environment that could have led to incorrect pricing and orders going out the door without anyone kind of noticing. So those have been two of the bigger advantages from the platform, and I can say that we've never regretted for a second implementing it. We're happy with it, and I would absolutely recommend it to other people looking for a solution pricing.
What we're finding with RPM is that we are transforming businesses. We are helping them think about how they approach business in a different way. And that involves a dramatic reduction in the amount of data that you're managing and being more intelligent about how you approach pricing and how you can be confidently and strategically profitable. And there's ways to do that people just don't realize. They get stuck into this mindset of, I have to have price sheets, and people, it's like, don't take away my price sheets. It's like, we can make that formula based. We can make things much more simple. But the process of transformation into that can be challenging for us, and we are there to help them along the way. We build great relationships with our core values, of course, along the way. And we help people see that there is a different way. And ultimately, your business is in a much better position moving forward when you think about things differently and use a tool like RPM, which is incredibly powerful in accomplishing different ways of thinking about how you do pricing.